Hey everybody, what's up? Back with another one, and in this particular video I want to discuss the potential for a season 2 of Watchmen, the HBO series that of course stars Regina King and was produced by Damon Lindelof, you know, from Law's fame and various other projects. Now the thing about this particular show is that the way it ended, it has a very poignant ending that was very similar to the source material, which is Watchmen, the graphic novel comic series. And the one thing I really enjoyed about this show is the way it actually ended. They it has a very ambiguous ending, but of course this ambiguous ending is very similar to how the Watchmen series actually ended. And I think that was a good touchback to come full circle story structure, the way they particularly did this with this television series. And it's one of the reasons why I really like the show. Now, me personally, I don't think they need to do a season 2 of this. I think they pretty much did a storyline and answered most of the questions that they needed to answer and left some things open-ended, exactly like how the source material did in particular storylines and characters. But the one thing that I do worry about with this is that, of course, it's a television series and it's owned by a company. And then, of course, with most things that are very successful, and this show was critically successful, to me at least, amongst fans, that they always try to push for that, hey, let's make another one. Hopefully, moving forward, that they do not go this route, because this show really surprised me when I watched it. A lot of people was like, I'm not watching this show. It's not this, it's not that. This show really surprised me and I really enjoyed it. Especially one thing that they did with the show is that they took a particular character and they literally flipped the concept of that particular character on his head. It was a plot twist that I initially did not see coming. And one of the big strengths of this show is that it takes the established characters and storylines that you know, that you think, I got a good solid footing on this. I know this character, I know this, I know that. And they still surprise you. And that's pretty hard to do, especially in this day and age of social media with spoilers, leaks, pictures from sets. It is what it is. We can't help but to spoil stuff when it's information that can just be easily spread that quickly. But the one thing about this show is that I like that a lot of the deeper storylines in this did not get spoiled. Even with the trailers and the breakdowns, it was a lot of stuff there that a lot of people did not catch on to. And I was very happy for that. And that's another reason why I ended up really liking this show. But the one thing I did make sure I did do when this show was on was I made sure I kept up with the episodes as they released, because if you didn't, you had the potential of being spoiled from social media, thumbnails, pictures on Instagram, Facebook. It was just too much information after the episode came on. And I even posted one thing about one of the episodes that I was as vague as I could be without spoiling anything. And hey, I like people to be still surprised in this day and age. I don't know, it's just me. But I really hope that they don't take that route of doing a season 2 to this. I really hope they just let it stay in its own little bubble and leave it be. Now, Damon Lindelof said when he did this, he thought that he completed his part of the story, that he left it at a point where it could just be okay. The story's been told, leave it be. But of course, with TV shows that end up being successful, especially if they're successful critically, they always try to push for that season 2. Hopefully HBO doesn't do that. This is one of those things, if they do go back to it, I hope they go back to it further down the line. It's just the ending itself. It's so self-contained and good that I don't want to see that get trampled over just by saying, hey, let's go ahead and produce another season and go ahead and get that viewership up for new services. I don't want to see that. I just want them just to leave this where it's at. And if you do something else, maybe do something set in the same world. Maybe have a couple of the characters make a cameo and leave it at that. If they could do that, I'd be happy with it. Or use some characters that were not featured in this particular season of the show. Give them their own season and show their continuing storyline, but just leave this one where it's at. That'd be a better route. Still connected, but not a direct sequel to it. They could do that easily. So, otherwise than that, let me know what you think about a potentially produced season 2 of the HBO series Watchmen. Me personally, I don't want it to happen, but the way things are now, it's a very, very good chance that it will happen. So, if you watch the show, if you're interested in the show, let me know in the comment section, and what do you think about them pushing forward with more of this, if it does happen. But otherwise than that, I will catch you all in the next one. All right, everybody.